Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to be joined by Jim Meyer, the principal of St. Mary's School. Jim, thanks for being here. Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
All right, so a lot of people know St. Mary's right here in the heart of Medford, and a private school. What makes education at St. Mary's unique?
I think a variety of things. One, the family atmosphere, the fact that we really can connect to our students, smaller classes, more cutting-edge classes, the opportunities to really find out who students are and have that connection to their teachers. I think the other thing, too, is we have an excellent boarding program, so it makes the Valley is a beautiful place to live, but it's not a major city, and this allows us to bring some more cosmopolitan elements to the school and really give the kids a view of the future and sort of the global aspect of the world we live in.
Okay, and being obviously independent, how is that an advantage for you and for your teachers?
Well, for us, it's a great thing. We just do what's best for the students. We don't have to worry about any of the bureaucracy that comes in. What we're really looking for is how do the students do on their SAT scores? How do they do not once they get to college, but how do they do even after college? We're really looking at what breeds future success for students, and whatever educational elements we can bring in, whatever inspirational elements, whatever relationship elements we can bring in. We really want to know our students. We want to find out who they are and how they can become better human beings. So I think we get to talk about the big philosophical, theological questions of life too, which is not just it's not just about academics, it's about who they are as human beings, and we can really get to know those kids and help them find out who they are and push them into success in the future.
Mm-hmm. And I think you told me before, more than 10% now of your student population foreign transfer students. Is that the best way to describe them?
It's an international boarding program. So
Okay.
they come, and the students come from Korea, from China, and they come to eventually get a college degree from the United States. So they're very engaged in their education. They're very serious. It's great for our local students to say, hey, this is the world that you live in. It's no longer competing with the guy 5 miles away. You're competing with people who live across an ocean, and they come from these incredibly cosmopolitan cities, and they're very motivated to do well, and they bring that spirit and that desire to learn, and at the same time to learn about other people to St. Mary's. And I think this is a very inspirational part of the school. It's an awesome part of the school, and when these kids go off to college, the American students and the international students, when you get to colleges, there are thousands of international students at college. So now you know how to interact. You never know if you're going to work abroad. There's a great chance if you're learning Chinese at St. Mary's, which not many schools offer that in the United States. This is a great chance to actually meet somebody from China and speak their language and see the connection, the reality of what you're learning.
Very good, very good. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Much more in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with St. Mary's principal Jim Meyer. Jim, you guys are radically changing your curriculum and your schedule. What are you guys doing?
Well, it's actually so exciting for us. Again, you asked earlier about what can we do as a private school, as an independent school. Again, we can do whatever we want in the best interest of our students. And we looked around and we said, well, how students learn from 20 years ago, if you look at all the neuroscience and whatnot as to how a teenager's brain works now, it's very different than back in, say, 1995 or the dark ages when I was in school. And so when you look at it, we've said, what are we going to do what's best for our students? And so we're looking at giving, I think, more an engaging curriculum, a more cutting-edge curriculum. We do very well right now. 100% of our kids go off to college. They garnered $6.4 million in scholarship aid last year, and that's a class of 77 kids. I mean, they're doing very well for themselves. But we said, is this the best we can do? Can we engage our students better? Can we give them more depth? Students today, the technology and the influence it has in our lives is incredible. They can learn things so much quicker than what we learned. I remember back when I was a kid, it was like you went and looked at the encyclopedia, No,
Sure.
you just pop it in a Google search engine. You have dissertations in front of you, and these kids have the background information for a lot of subjects so much quicker. So we want to allow them to have that, but we also want to go in more depth. We want to include different teachers in our valley. We have so many talented people who maybe will be able to come in and teach a short class. So that's what we're doing. St. Mary's 2.0, as we're calling it, is a 7-term, 26 days, a 7-term year with an optional 8th term where a kid can come in and say, hey, I want to go to the coast and study marine biology, and we can actually go and take them to the coast and do that. It's an optional thing for families. It allows so much more flexibility. It allows the students some more choice, more options, and at the same time more depth in what they want to do. And it taps the great resources we have in the Rogue Valley to come and teach, maybe you can come teach a news segment. So I mean, it allows
Media
all
today,
of that.
it's changed.
Exactly. It's changed massively, and that's really education's changed. And so we're not beholden to Common Core and all the bureaucracy that goes into into education these days, and some of the fads that come through and come out. What's best for our students? We're going to do it. And that's what 2.0 is all about.
Very exciting. Great to meet you. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Craig. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.